Welcome back to Study Tips for IGCSE Biology. Today's topic is related to excretion. In this chapter, you will find out about what is meant by an excretion product, the main excretory products of mammal, and the organs that excrete them, how urea is formed by deamination in the liver, the structure of a kidney, the structure of a kidney tubule, filtration and reabsorption in a kidney tubule, advantage and disadvantage of kidney dialysis and kidney transplant. Excretory products. Excretion is the removal of the waste substances of metabolic reactions, toxic materials and substances in excess of requirement. Example, human cannot digest cellulose in our food and it goes straight to the alimentary canal and out of the anus in the feces. Animal produced nitrogenous waste. This is formed from excess proteins and amino acids. Animals are not able to store this in their bodies. So, any that are surplus to requirements are broken down to form a nitrogen containing excretory products. In mammals, this substance is mainly urea. Urea is formed in the liver. It is a toxic substance. It is removed from the body by the kidney. When you eat proteins, digestive enzyme in your stomach, duodenum and ileum break them down into amino acid. The amino acids are absorbed into the blood capillaries in the villi in your ileum. The blood capillaries all join up to the hepatic portal vein, which take the absorbed food to the liver. The liver allows some of the amino acids to carry on in the blood to other parts of your body. But if you eaten more than you need, then some of them must got rid of. It would be wasteful to excrete the extra amino acids just as they are, because they contain energy which you may need later. So, at the right hand side is a diagram that shows the excretory products. Carbon dioxide is produced by all cells during respiration and excreted by the lungs. Excess water and salt are removed by the kidney, and urea is produced by the elimination of excess protein in the liver and excreted by the kidney in the urine. Bulk pigments are produced by the breakdown of hemoglobin in the liver and excreted in the feces. How urea is made? Deamination, the removal of the nitrogen containing part of amino acids to form urea. First, protein in the food is taken into the alimentary canal. Second, the protein molecules are break down to amino acids during digestion. Third, the amino acids are absorbed into the blood and taken to the liver in the hepatic portal vein. Number 4, amino acid that are needed are released into the circulation. Number 5, amino acids that are not needed are deaminated into carbohydrates and ammonia. So 6, the carbohydrates are used or stored in the liver. Next, the 7, the ammonia is converted into urea, and from the urea to be excreted and the amino acids to be used by the body are taken away by the blood. The human excretory system. The diagram A, it shows that the human excretory system. So in this diagram, it shows about vena cava, aorta, diaphragm, renal artery, renal vein, left kidney, ureter, bladder, sphincter, muscle, and urethra. For the diagram B, it's actually a longitudinal section through a kidney which shows the position of one nephron, which is drawn much larger than the relative size. Inside the kidney, it shows that consists of medulla, cortex, nephrons, pelvis, and ureter. The diagram C is actually a big diagram about a part of the kidney. So it's a nephron. So inside the nephron, you can see the blood capillaries, renal capsules, glomerulus, branch of vena artery, branch of vena vein, loop of Henle, collecting duct, pelvis, tubule for another nephron. Let's look into the kidney. Diagram A illustrates the position of the two kidneys in human body at the back of abdomen behind the intestine. So this is the position of our two kidney in human body. Diagram B illustrates a longitudinal section through a kidney, which is, it has 3 main parts, which is cortex, medulla, and pelvis. Pelvis is a tube called ureter, which carries urine that the kidney has made to the bladder. Kidney tubules seem solid, actually made of 1,000 of kidney tubules or nephron. So diagram B and C, each tubule begin in the cortex, loop down into medulla, back into the cortex, and then goes down again through the medulla to the pelvis. So in the pelvis, the tubules join with the ureter. Urine formation. Diagram D is how urine is made. A blood passes through the kidney, is filtered. If you can see from this diagram, filtering, small molecules such as water, glucose, salt, and urea are squeezed out of the blood into a renal capsule. So this removes most of the urea from it, excess water and salt. As this liquid moves through the kidney, any glucose is reabsorbed back into the blood. So the second stage is reabsorption. Any useful substances such as water and glucose are taken back into the blood. So most of the water is also reabsorbed along with some of the salt. The final liquid produced by the kidney is a solution of urea and salt in water is called urine. So if you can see, these are the third step. Urine flow out of kidney, along the ureter and into bladder. It's stored in the bladder for a while before being released from the body through urethra. So if you can see, the next step is the remaining liquid called urine flow into the ureter. Urine flow out of kidney along the ureters and into bladder. It's stored in the bladder for a while before release from the body through urethra. Kidney adjusts amount of urine they produce according to the needs of body. If your body short of water, have loss of water because you have been doing exercise in the heat and loss of water by sweating, then the kidney produce small volume of concentrated urine. This is a stage of filtration. As you can see, these are the diagram C, nephron, and diagram D is actually how urine is made. Blood is brought to the renal capsule in a branch of the renal artery. Small molecules, including water and most of the substance dissolved in it, are squeezed out of the blood into the renal capsule. There are thousands of renal capsules in the contact of each kidney, so each one is shaped like a cup. It has a tangle of blood capillaries called glomerulus in the middle. So the blood vessel bringing blood to each glomerulus is quite wide, but the one taking blood away is narrow, meaning that the blood in the glomerulus cannot get away easily. Quite a high pressure built in, squeezing the blood in the glomerulus against the capillary wall. And then the wall have small hole in them. So do the wall of the renal capsule. Any molecule small enough to glucose and urea to go through this hole will be squeezed through into the shape of renal capsule. So you can refer to the diagram C and D. Only small molecule can go through. So these include water and salt. Most protein molecules are too big, so they stay in the blood along with the blood cell. Reabsorption. The fluid in the renal capsule is a solution of glucose, salt, and urea dissolved in water. Some of the substances in this liquid are needed by body. Some of water, some of salt, and all of glucose need to be kept in the blood. Wrapped around each kidney tubules are blood capillaries, which is useful substances from the fluid in the kidney tubules are reabsorbed and passed back into the blood in these capillaries. The remaining fluid continues on its way along the tubules. By the time it gets to the collecting duct, it is mostly water with urea and salt dissolved in it, and it's called urine. So the kidney are extremely efficient at reabsorbing water. Over 99% of the water entering the tubules is reabsorbed. In human, the two kidney filter about 170 cubic decimeter, which is equivalent of 170 liters of water per day, and yet only about 1.5 cubic decimeter of urine are produced in the same period. 1.5 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1.5 liter of urine are produced in the same day. The bladder. The urine for all tubules in the kidney flow into the ureter. The ureter takes it to the bladder. The bladder stores urine. It has stretchy wall so it can hold quite large quantities. Leading out of the bladder is a tube called urethra. There is a sphincter muscle at the top of the urethra, which is usually tightly closed. When the bladder is full, the sphincter muscle opens so that the urine flow along the urethra and out of body. Adult mammal can consciously control this sphincter muscle. In young mammal, it's open automatically when the bladder gets full. Kidney dialysis. This is actually disadvantages and disadvantages of kidney dialysis. The advantages of kidney dialysis because it's greatly reduced level of urea and it is clean blood, no overall change in blood glucose level. So the correct water and iron balance maintained or restored with only excess iron removed. Disadvantage of kidney dialysis, low blood pressure during treatments, is the most common complication of hemodialysis and can be accompanied by lightheadedness, shortness of breath, abdominal cramp, nausea, or vomiting. Treatments and preventive measures are available for this potential problem. For the kidney transplant, advantages and disadvantages. Let's look into the advantages of the kidney transplant. Studies show that patients who have successful kidney transplant live longer than patients treated with dialysis. Disadvantage of kidney transplant: kidney transplantation is a major surgical procedure that has risks both during and after the surgery. The risks of the surgery include infection, bleeding, and damage to the surrounding organs. Even death can occur, although this is a very rare. With that being said, that's all for this topic, excretion, and I hope you will enjoy swimming. Thank you very much.